This is Phantom Dust. We're here on Xbox Series X diving into this very strange and how it was released sort of experience. So be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is free to play, and it basically is just a free game, technically. I mean, you know, it doesn't cost anything to dive into. You could just jump in and you can play the game if you'd like to. There are some microtransaction elements, like they have like extra little pack things, but it really, you know, honestly, you could just play the whole thing for free, essentially. So yeah, what are we getting here on the Series X? 1080p, 30 FPS, and it's basically a hacked, emulated version of the original Phantom Dust. So this one has a really weird story to it, because essentially they were going to do a remake of Phantom Dust. That was their goal. And, you know, they did this big trailer thing. It was really exciting. It was really interesting. It was different. You know what I mean? Like, it was really cool when it was shown. I was like, what is this? And, you know, there's a big word about, like, oh, they're redoing, you know, Phantom Dust. And I was like, wow, that is strange. You know, it was definitely a little bizarre that they were, you know, kind of doing this game and popping it out. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was getting behind it. But then you never really heard anything about what happened. So I guess I was kind of reading a little bit into that, but such a strange scenario. So eventually what they ended up doing was release this version. This is like just a slight, I guess, could you even call it a remaster? It's basically a port of the original Phantom Dust, which was, you know, an Xbox title back on the original Xbox. And they've added like multiplayer components and stuff like that, if you can find anybody on the multiplayer. I think this basically kind of was a lazy sort of, you know, release of the game. And I think, well, partner's already been selected, okay. And I believe that this kind of really just killed all the interest in the series, essentially, because nobody talks about this, nobody plays it, nobody jumps into this. I mean, most people watching this probably don't even know what Phantom Dust is. So, yeah. so what happened with the thing was they announced this re-release of the game, like, no, this remake of the game, and then eventually down the road they just did the surprise re-release that I guess was just ready, and then they kind of released it and whatnot, right? But, like, originally they were going to do a full remake, and what they did was they had the studio that was a supporting studio kind of work on it as their first, I guess, big kind of chance to do their own sort of game for Xbox. So Xbox kind of gave them a very, okay, that's block, kind of unrealistic, I guess you would say, schedule and or budgeting. Really small budget, and then they did a crazy CGI trailer that was announced way too soon, and people, and like the developers were surprised. They're like, that's not what our game looks like or anything like that. And essentially, you know, then the developers were closed down over time because Microsoft was having issues with the, you know, the Xbox One and stuff. It wasn't, am I dead? You know, the Xbox One wasn't really taking off. So they essentially scrapped the project, and the development team was all, I think, 50-something members were all working on it, so that studio had to get shut down, which kind of sucks. So it was really kind of, I guess, a issue of Microsoft kind of having unrealistic expectations for a small team at that time. And it's kind of almost a little sad almost to hear about, if that makes sense. I was a little kind of disappointed to do the big read-up, because I was like, what did happen to Phantom Dust? And I looked into it, and I was like, okay, that's what kind of went on here. Very, very strange that's the situation here. But that's how it goes sometimes with game development, right? You know, not everything works out. So that's kind of the story of it. I think they said it was still in development or something. I don't know if it's ever been officially canceled. Like, I would assume at this point, this many years on, like, they're never going to do Phantom Dust again. Because, again, I believe this kind of killed, you know, the whole interest that people had in the series, or they didn't even really notice this one came out, which is kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, this is free. You can dive in and play it. You are kind of an individual that is collecting, I guess it's like a bit of a card-based system, where you are collecting, you know, these sort of abilities, these powers, and then you're facing off with others in arena setups and, you know, things like that. That's kind of what the game is, and it's this world where everything kind of fell apart, and you're not, like, really sure what happened, and that's the thing, is, like, everybody's trying to, I guess, a little bit figure out what happened in this world, and you're also doing these battles. I'll be honest, I have no idea what's going on here. Like, no idea at all. I think I'm fighting this robot thing, but, yeah. I really, like, I think this is why I also didn't play it, because I was just like, what is this game even? It's so strange. But yeah, that trailer, if you go back and watch that trailer for the remake, I was really quite fascinated about it. So apparently the remake was going to be, firstly, a multiplayer game, and then Microsoft decided that with the same budget they also wanted a campaign, and I think there was supposed to be some sort of mobile thing going on, or that might have been the studio's other side project. But yeah, help and support. It's gonna open up, it's gonna open up the web browser. Oh no. Get out of here, Microsoft Edge. Surprised that button even works. So they don't have like a list of the controls. Right, up and down, control speed. Because I literally don't even understand or comprehend what exactly we're doing here. We're kind of like shooting off abilities, it looks like. Whoa. Why does the frame rate kind of tank like that? What is going on with that? That's weird. Okay, so that's there. Okay, so we got like a fireball. I think I'm supposed to kind of kill this thing, but I'm struggling with this, obviously. To a high degree, and that other guy's not dying. I do like that the environments are really destructible. And this is also a Play Anywhere title, so you can actually get like a 4K going on if you go on the PC side of things, but still 30 FPS. Cross-device multiplayer. Ow! This is just like a weird game. So it's a blend of third-person arena combat and collectible card games. 300 unique skills to build up your arsenal of tools. So I'm not directly fighting this guy. We're fighting like kind of adjacent to each other. Except I'm dead again. So am I supposed to like outlive this guy? This is what is this? 15 hours of solo play content through an engaging story that explores the ideas of isolation and faith. Ooh, and then there's the full multiplayer component too. Highly destructible arenas unleashing an array of powers and tactics to defeat your enemies. Particle cannons, flaming swords, barriers of ice, cloaking, attack reflection. Win the battle. Tells you nothing. Absolutely nothing. Use your defensive skills and wait for the right moment before you attack. Okay. It looks pretty, like, stylized, though. I like the glow around the people in this, like, destroyed world, but... yeah, why didn't they ever do, or provide more care to this series? It's just kind of, like... It's strange that they just never did anything with this one. Ow! So am I supposed to, like, just let it kind of shoot at me and then... okay, that's not working. I think I'm supposed to, like, send things back. Yeah, so that lets me jump. I really don't have any context for this. Maybe I should have done, like, an opening tutorial or something. It looks really, like, neat from, like, the standpoint of the gameplay, but just straight up bizarre. I would actually, concept-wise, maybe liking to try that remake again. Oh, I blew it up too, and I just had it. Let's retry this. We'll get this. But I'm mostly just like, it loads really fast, which is expected because it's like an original Xbox game. But like, What was the idea here? They would just like do a remake and then be like, oh, sorry guys, we can't actually deliver on this remake. And then, like, I think it really kind of falls on Microsoft and Xbox on this one. Because, you know, obviously they were, you know, they were doing the remake and then they kind of just stopped, and it really kind of almost screwed over a little development team, I would say, from just the reading of it. And then they're just like, oh, instead of doing the remake, we're just gonna lazily... Oh, I got an achievement. Guess I did not play much of this. We're just gonna kind of lazily remaster the, you know, the original experience or something. Like, I guess lazily isn't the best term, because, like, literally, from what I was reading about this, they had to, like, straight up hack the original game because they didn't have the source material from the Japan studio that worked on it, so it's like they literally had to revamp everything basically from scratch. I'm just dying over and over again. It's almost hard to suggest this one because it's a bit strange, but if you do find this kind of interesting, like I said, it's straight up free. The only time it takes is your time. Oh, what a slick block! Didn't see that coming, did you, Skoto? Okay, didn't have any block option. Is there like a, I guess like a jump? See, the idea here is kind of cool, being like these magical individuals shooting off cool abilities. I think that idea is actually kind of neat. And you get like cool particle effects. Like, you could really turn this concept into a cool new revitalized franchise. I doubt we'll see that at this point. Did I get it? Don't just fire randomly. That's totally not what I did. I've attained a memory box. Look at this photograph. I always want to take on a mission. I literally only have that one mission. Alright, well I'm gonna go talk to some people, I guess. Hello there. Alrighty then. I wonder if this was like something people really liked. Like, I'm really curious what people's thoughts were about this on the original Xbox, but I'm assuming most people really probably have no actual necessarily like concept of what this is. I guess I don't have credentials. Do I have to keep going and battling that one person on the surface over and over again? Because that would be funny. I like when they do these sort of upgrades to these older games. It's always interesting. Oh, Chunky. Oh, we got a new mission. The Palace. Instant loading, that's pretty cool. Win Chunky's approval, it shall be done. So you basically just go off on these little arena areas and you do battles. That's kind of a neat concept. It only uses, there's one enemy, but it only uses defensive skills. Okay. Is that my enemy? Am I shooting at that thing? I guess that's the thing I have to kill. Flash barrier, lasers. I do like that the environment is destructible. And it doesn't look too bad, but you know, obviously it's not super like fluid either. And it's neat that there's a time limit too. I think this is one of the more strange games I've kind of gone back to. Do I not have any more of that ability or something? Ow. Like, this is such a weird experience. A wall of fire. So I'm assuming blue is always defensive, and then we have all these other things. Oh, it's like a sword thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. Really strange. I only got one hit with it. It's so just like straight up bizarre-like. But yeah, I'm strangely fascinated by it. I'm a rookie, but I'm making and turning heads out here. I've obtained another memory box. Look at this memory box. He's in the bar drinking again. Bright neon lights. Is this the bar? I guess we don't have that kind of credentials. Bright neon lights by the headquarters. Maybe it's down this way. What a strange game in the library of, oh, basically the Xbox library, I guess you would say. Oh, that's the clinic? Wow, this is a really... Whoa, hello there. It was very nice to meet you, lady. Anybody know where the bar is? I'm trying to find the bar around here. You guys got keys. Is he the key master? Trying to find the bar. Right beside the headquarters. Neon lights, can't miss it. Is that it? Oh, that's the bar. Got a lot of weird ways to enjoy missions, but I'm starting to get a hang of it a little bit. This took a lot of deaths. I'm literally learning how to just take out enemies. Why was that initial one so confusing? PH. Is there multiple? Oh, Anthro's there. Okay. Oh, crap. At least I didn't die. Oof, it's always the Skodo that gets me down. Seems like these fireballs are kind of the way to go. It's just really such a neat concept for a game. If you really leaned into like the whole card collecting and the different methods for building, you could create such a fascinating experience. Especially if you do cool like magic style characters, maybe you could even make your own character. They should revisit this franchise and they could do something really interesting with it. Because I don't think there's too many games out there quite like this. And it feels mysterious too. Like, this is definitely a game of its time, that's for sure. But I mean, it doesn't cost anything to take a look at. And I think that is interesting.